Hey YouTube, welcome back to the Second Time Lucky Mining channel. Today is the 1st of January, so I hope everybody had an amazing party last night and enjoyed it with their family and friends. I wish you all the best for 2022. I'm sure it will be a good one, especially in the crypto space. So today is the end of my first month being back into the crypto space. So we're going to have a look at where we are at this specific point in time. So in today's video, we're going to cover a couple of topics. First being my expenses. So which hardware have I bought? What is my electricity cost at? What have I mined in the last month? How have I mined it? What is my mining strategy? What is my ROI? So, am I breaking even? Definitely not, spoiler. And then, what are we going to do, or what are we looking out for in 2022, specifically in the crypto space? So let's jump straight into it. Alright guys, I've got my crypto accounting spreadsheet open. So I'm not sure if you've watched my week 1 ROI video. If not, I'll leave a link in the description. But this is where I track my crypto expenses. So not only do I want to keep track of this from a cost perspective to see how much this hobby is costing me, but I have to from a tax perspective. So that's really why I keep track of expenses. As you can see here, I've got it split into two buckets, a CapEx bucket and an OpEx bucket. And really the difference is capital expenses, so what is like a one-time cost versus running costs on the right-hand side for OpEx. As you can see here, I've spent around 10,000 US dollars on various different hardware where my running cost is about $50. So it's very low at this point because I only have the one rig really. So looking at the capital expenses in a little bit more detail, I've separated out my total graphics card spend. So you can see here, I've got 6 graphics cards in total. 3 of them I bought used off Facebook Marketplace and 3 of them I bought brand new. And the total spend is just below 7,600 US dollars. From a percentage perspective, it's about 76% of my total capital expenditure, which is a bit low for me. I really like it to be a little bit higher, but some of the items on my capex list are expensive and I just haven't received them yet. So hopefully in the future this percentage will start going up. I'm hoping it to be like 90% or in that area there. So talking of that Octominer case, so let me just show you which one it is. So let me just go to Octominer's website. So you can see here, I've ordered the Octominer X8 Ultra Plus. So I'm really excited for that. That gives me another 8 GPU slots. So in total, with the motherboards that I have at my disposal and the power supplies, I have about 15 GPU slots, which I'm only really utilizing 6 at the moment. Or I have 6 GPUs, 5 of them are really working. So that gives me a capacity of 9 GPUs left. So I just need to go and find those GPUs. Anyway, so let's jump back into expenses. Okay, so let's have a look at the other half of expenses, which would be running expenses or OpEx. So that would include stuff like electricity and HiveOS. Luckily for me, I only have the one rig, so I don't really pay for HiveOS at this moment, so I'm quite lucky there. But unfortunately, my electricity rate, as you can see here, is 17 US cents per kilowatt hour, which I consider quite expensive. So it's a big priority for me and should be for all miners to do a bit of shopping around to see if they can get that down. But unfortunately, I need 1 or 2 months worth of bill with high usage to get a good deal. So I'm looking to do that in the new year. From a cost perspective, my electricity for this month has costed me 37 US dollars. How am I measuring this? I've got a watt meter at the wall, so I know exactly what my miner consumes. But is this profitable? So let's go and have a look at what have I mined and did I actually make a profit, or where is my ROI at? So let's go and have a look at that. Okay, so we are in the value tracking sheet. So this sheet I consider the bottom line. So it gives me a view of where I am. I'll try and update this either the last day of the month or the first day of the month, but the idea is on a monthly snapshot, I would know what is my total expenses. So what's important here is this expenses would be the total capital expenses. So what have I paid for graphics cards, including my total cost of electricity up until that specific point. So that's important. So if I just flick over to my expenses again, so you can see here that value is including my total hardware costs plus what I've paid for electricity at that specific point in time. And then what I have mined. So you can see here up until this point from this morning, I've mined 0.00614,919 Bitcoin at this specific point in time. And then the value of Bitcoin is 46,720 in dollar terms. And then the value of what I've mined up until this point is 287.29 cents worth of dollars. So that's sort of where I am. From an ROI point of view, you can see here, it's just the percentage of what I've mined in total versus my total expenses. So you can see here, I've only ROI 2.88%. So I'm very far away from breaking even, but this is just gives me a view of where I am. Okay, so let's discuss what have I mined and how have I mined this 0.00614,919 Bitcoin. So if you've been watching some of my previous videos, and I'll leave a link in the description for that, I've used NiceHash either in the past or up until a couple of days ago. So I've been a big user of NiceHash. So when I started in September 2017, I only used NiceHash. Yes, I did do some pool mining back then with Zcash, but the majority of my mining was done on NiceHash. And then when I started again on the 5th of December, I also started again with NiceHash just because it's hell of a convenient. But about 2 days ago, I've recently changed to pool mining, but I'm currently using 2 miners. So I'll do a separate video on that to explain it a little bit more, but that's sort of why and how am I mining Bitcoin on my graphics card. So I'm actually not mining Bitcoin. I am mining Ethereum, but then getting paid out in Bitcoin. So it's not, I don't have a ASIC miner. This is all GPU mining Ethereum that gets paid out in Bitcoin. So that's why you see a Bitcoin value here. Okay, so next I want to answer probably 2 of the most common questions that I get from family and friends. The first one being, is it profitable to mine in a place like Australia where electricity costs are high? And when the hell are you going to break even? So looking at profitability, so you can see here I've mined about 287.29 cents in US dollar terms worth of Bitcoin against the Bitcoin price today. And if you look at the running cost, at least, you know, it's $37. So, you know, it's still profitable for me to mine. Yes, the difficulty will be changing. So that is going or skyrocketing on the Ethereum point of view. And then the price of coins can drop. So profitability is definitely going to change. But at this specific point in time, on the 1st of January, it's still definitely profitable for me to mine. To answer when am I breaking even? So as you can see here, I'm very far away from breaking even. So I need to do another 97%. So, you know, it's not happening anytime soon. From a goal perspective, I mean, I'd love to break even within a year, but I'm not going to cry over that if I don't achieve that specific goal. I can calculate, you know, when do I expect to break even based on, you know, my total hashes at this specific point in time. And then, you know, what is the price of the coin? But what I find in the past is, you know, I'll always be adding new hardware. My cost will be going up. And then obviously my ROI will then, you know, briefly drop. The other thing is like the network difficulty will also change and the value of the coins will change. So for me, it's more important to keep track of it so you sort of know where you are. But forecasting when you're going to do that, there's not a lot of value, at least for me, you know, in doing that. The next thing that I'd like to discuss is what is my mining strategy. So as I discussed a little bit earlier, so I'm mining Ethereum using the 2 miners pool. And currently I'm getting paid out in Bitcoin. So that Bitcoin goes directly in my CoinFi account. So the idea here is to get extra interest. So this is something that's a little bit new, or that wasn't, you know, available back in the past when I first started mining. So I'm busy giving it a go. So the idea is that whatever I mine goes straight into this Quayfi account, where currently I get about 4.5% interest or annual percentage yield on that Bitcoin. So the idea is here to maximize whatever I'm earning at this specific point in time. There are thresholds for this APY, or interest is what I like to call it, or dividends, or you know, whatever you want to call it, passive income. So let me just show you that. So if I jump here, so you can see here there are thresholds. So from 0 to 0.1 Bitcoin you get about 4.5, and then anything above 0.1 to 0.35 you get just 1%, and then anything more than that you get 0.01. So the sweet spot, at least from a CoinFi perspective, is that 0.1 Bitcoin. So the idea for me really is, or at least a strategy in the short term, is to get to that 0.1 BTC, and then figure out what do I do then. So that's really the goal for me, or what am I doing, at least from a mining strategy perspective. 2 miners into BlockFi, easy. So lastly, what is the goals and the plans for the farm and for the channel? So for the farm, let me just jump into HiveOS. So as you can see here, currently we do about 292 mega hashes. So I really like to get that to about 500 mega hashes. So that would be a 40 or a little bit more than 40% increase. So I really like to do that, and then have 0 GPUs being idle. I really hate a GPU not working or not mining. So that's really the goals for the farm. For the channel is to at least put out one video once a week that is of better quality than the previous one. So that's really the goals for the farm and for the channel. I'm really very excited for 2022. It's going to be a wild ride in the crypto space. I mean, if I just look at it, we will have the move away from Ethereum mining. So when they move away from proof of work to proof of stake, so that's going to be wild. Personally, I'll be getting into helium mining. So as soon as that helium miner comes, and the waiting list is so long, so I'm excited to do that. The Octominer as well. So I've never built into a server case, so I'm super stoked for that. And then mining some other coins. You know, to be honest, you know, Ethereum mining, as profitable it is, it's hell of a boring. So I'm keen to mine Flux or Ravencoin, or just something different. So I'm excited to experiment with different miners, different algorithms, all of these type of things, and just get into the space. So really excited for that. But that's about it for today's video, guys. So thanks for watching. If you've liked the video, please like it. You know, if you liked it a lot, please consider subscribing. If you didn't, please let me know in the comments what you would like me to change. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.